home improvement registers. They're not licensed contractors, folks. They run around with one-page contracts, and today I'm going to get into contracts. But in the meantime, let's talk about these home improvement registers. They're not licensed contractors. $50 or $75, and they get this little certificate. And hopefully next year in the session, I'm going to get rid of that law because it's a bad law. All the problems we get on the State Contractors Board is from these guys. Okay? Now, once you get past this, the next thing you need to start looking at is how many years in business have they been? I mean, that's critical. I mean, somebody's been in business 2 years versus somebody in business 22 years. There's a big difference in experience levels. Obviously, this company that's been in business for 22 years can stand behind their warranty. They're going to be around when these others may not make it, A. But B, when you build 22,000 buildings and you've been in business 20, you're doing something right. The test of time has not proven whether or not these people who are coming into it are doing it. Now, the other thing you can do to tell if someone is, in my opinion, is go to their facility. If you don't have a facility, you don't have equipment to do the job, I question, are you really a contractor? Or are you just a broker? Where you pick up the phone, you call somebody who says he can build a building, and they got plenty of them out there, good ones and bad ones, and you pick up the phone, you buy a kit. I sell kits too. But you can buy a kit and just pick up a builder that out there. And this person is nothing but a broker who's never built nothing, doesn't know nothing. And there's several of them that I can go into that have never built a building. Several of them have worked for me. They weren't hired as builders, okay? Because they couldn't build nothing. Now all of a sudden you got a couple of them out there who they want to be contractors. Yet they've never built nothing. Absolutely nothing. You need to be careful of those people. Now yesterday, we had a lady who made a comment about contracts. And that's Miss Michelle Meir. You know, and there's a reason your contract is 26 pages long, because you want to be sure that you can sue any customer who gets out of line. So I've decided today that I would go over the contract with you to show you what a contract is and why we have a contract, instead of these little one-page get in trouble contracts that don't hold nobody's feet to the water. Does not describe in detail what they're required to do. It's just a simple he said, she said piece of paper. And that's what Ms. Meir needs to understand. After being in the business 22 years, I, just like I improved all my buildings, have always tried to put a contract together that protects all parties. And a good attorney is going to tell you that I'm right. Instead of listening to somebody like Ms. Meir, let's go ask an attorney. Be assured, the attorney is going to say, Mr. Mallett's right. We should put down everything we agree to in writing. No verbal stuff should be allowed, because if you get into court, it's a he said, she said game. So with that, I'm going to show you my contract. First, let me tell you, if you want to check a contract out, be sure you go to the LSLBC website. Okay? You can do it on your phone. It's going to tell you everything you need to know. So this is a contract. I'll tell you on the back of the contract, we put a color chart of our metals. Okay? That's part of the package. The type of windows, the colors of the windows, the color chart on the roll-up doors, okay, the referral program, our insurance, our license certificate. That all is handed to you when you buy a contract. And I'm a licensed general and a licensed residential contractor. If you notice, my name is on the bottom of every certificate because I'm chairman of the board of the State Licensing Board. So that's part of the package. So we got past that informational packet that goes with the contract. Then we get to the contract. Here it is, okay? First page, it's important. Basically, if you have any issues before or after building is built, please follow these guidelines. Call or text Lee Mallett. This is a personal cell phone, he does respond. Or send an email to customer service. This email is monitored today and will be answered, okay? Not following the above may cause you to fall through the tracks, and we do not want this to happen. We want to take care of your customers' needs promptly. We're going to give you a copy of our referral program. Okay? It is a lot of pages, but there's other things besides just the contractual side. This is where you can earn $200. We build a building for you, and you show your building, and somebody comes, you fill this baby out, I'm going to send you a check for $200. Customer information. I got to have all the information so that we can, as licensed contractors, we know all this information, which is your name, project address, parish, county, cell phone number. This is contact information. Okay? Next page is the terms and conditions, builder's risk. If you want to buy builder's risk insurance, we can do that for you. There's a fee for that. that if you don't have homeowners insurance and you want to buy extra insurance, you fill this out and we get a policy for you. Okay? After you sign the contract, if you want to change anything, you must do it in writing with an addendum. Okay? Doesn't that make sense? So far, I don't know why Ms. Muir thinks this is about suing someone, because it's not. It's informational. I'm trying to show you how the process works. Some might think that maybe she made that comment because I think she's trying to help Ranger Buildings, but I don't know that. But we'll just have to wait and see. Then we get terms and conditions of the contract. It's lengthy, but it covers every issue. I mean, you're going to go through the heavy trucks and trailers. It's a construction site. There could be some, you're going to have some damage because it's a construction site. You bring in bobcats. There's going to be problems there. We go through that. We go through the, we need to mark all the utilities. Let's see here. Best Buy. Okay, if you want the construction to be removed, there's a charge. That's not forgetting our price. But if you want it, you can buy that. Okay. 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 If you want it, we backfill with dirt. If you want to put concrete, you put the concrete in sackcrete, and we'll sackcrete those posts. That's in there. Okay, it's the responsibility to provide the building a level building site. In other words, we're going through all the issues. And there's 2 pages of this, which you have to sign and initial. Okay? Dirt. You got to provide dirt, or provide a level site. Customer will provide dirt to pad. And in Best Buy's 1 foot, if you go 1 foot, if you go above that, then there's a charge because now we've got to add more equipment to move that dirt around. Construction cleanup. Once again, there's a fee. If you want to do it, fine, or you can decline. You can decline or accept any of these things that we're offering. Okay, depending on the site, on concrete, depending on your site, because I don't know what your site is. If we can't back a truck to your site, you're going to either have to have a pump truck or some Georgia buggies. Okay? It's in here. Not trying to hide nothing, just factually speaking. Some places you got to have a pump. Some places you got to have a Georgia buggy because you can't get access. You have to give me access. If you can't give me access to your job or to the building, then guess what? We've got to figure out a way to put it there. And there's only one way. Get that concrete in there. Read your contract carefully. Okay? Read your contract carefully. Any verbal agreement made between Mallett Buildings and the customer must be written on the face of the contract. Otherwise, the verbal agreement is null, no exceptions. I can't even do that. I won't even do that. All verbal agreements between Mallett Buildings and represent the customer have been documented on the contract. I've read, and then you signed it. You've read this. Okay, we have a customer consent where you authorize us to use the pictures. We're proud to build a building. We'll take those pictures for marketing purposes, and you sign that too. We get permission from you to do everything we do. Okay, you're going to get notice of design, which basically means you've signed. When we design a building, the designers are going to send them to you. Okay, it takes 15 days that we have for you to, and once you sign that, then we get all the engineered plans to you, whatever you need, and guess what? You get the permit, and the moment I get the permit, that's when I'm going to order the building. We also operate in Texas. In Texas, you have to have a wind load certificate in some places, and we're authorized. We have engineers on staff. We can take care of that for you too. Okay, tentative building schedule. After signing the contract, design leg cut starts in 15 days to get the building designed and approved. That's a good thing. Then no mistakes are made. I don't know why Ms. Muir thinks this is so far what's bad here. I can't figure out anything except informational that tells you what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, what's required of you, and how we're going to proceed. So 15 days to get the design done. Should your customer make design changes, and you can make changes. But then that adds days to that deal, okay? Upon receiving the permit, design approval, which is latter, your building will be placed on the next available position for production, provided that your building pad and site is ready for production delivery. This is a residential project design. Permit could take a minimum of 90 days after design approval with the permit office. Some permit offices move fast, some move slow. But this is the tentative building schedule, and we go over it, and we sign it, and we agree to it. Okay? If you're from Texas, which we have the Texas windstorm certificate, there's an added fee to get that. This is something that Louisiana should do. Texas got smart years ago. What they did after the storms, which I believe we should do here, which would bring our premiums down, is they now in certain areas close to the coast or where they believe the wind load is 100, way up there, over 130 miles an hour, they require that you have a wind load certificate by an engineer, which we do those too, which means you're required to do certain things in the building and the engineer has to approve it in order for you to get that insurance certificate, which lowers your premiums. That's a good thing, but that's for the Texas customers. Okay, next sheet, page 8. Work performed on site, employees, contractors are not allowed to make any deals to perform any work that is not on the contract. That's what that's about. Building type. If you're buying a building, we want to know what type. Are you buying an accessory building, residential building? What are we doing here? That's what this is about. And we agree, it's an accessory building, if it's an accessory building. So far, folks, I think Ms. Mears is got her information wrong about why we have a contract. It's informational. It's to tell you what we're going to do. Timelines. All that is so far important. Page 10. In the event you have a problem with your building or service you're receiving, please feel free to call Lee Mallett at 337-515-2154. Every customer signs this. So that every customer has access to me. Warranty. Okay. It tells you the metal has a 40-year warranty. The aluminum has a 20. Okay, all manufactured on the building are warranted by the manufacturer. Okay, insulation warranted by the manufacturer. Concrete has no warranty, either express, implied, or referred. Okay, post protectors. This goes over the warranties. Okay, here's a warranty disclaimer that basically says that we warrant the workmanship, but all the stuff that we buy, the metal, the wood, the doors, the windows, there's a warranty from them, not from us. Now, if I was manufacturing all that, yes, I would have warranties. But this disclaimer says I'm not warranting none of those products. Wall heights and door placements. This describes what's going to happen if you put your door on the side wall, in wall. Okay, very detailed. So there's no misunderstanding. Okay, about when we finish. Well, I needed 6 inches. We told you in the beginning you were only going to have this much clearance. It's right here on this page. Warranty requirements, important. This is another one on about spraying of chemicals that may come in contact with the metal and will avoid all warranties implied or referred. Okay? This is strictly about the metal. Wind load, rating and design specifications. Page 15. There will be a load rating on this if we put the slab in. Okay? If you don't put the slab, then we're not guaranteeing wind load because once again, I've talked about this. We use the slab as dead weight for uplift. Okay, the slab is part of our engineering, and this tells you specifically about wind load rating and design specifications. Now, so far, folks, I don't see where any of this is. Where does she get this idea that this is about suing people? Proper documents. The owner, inspector, must sign all proper documentation that is presented to you by the various crews working on your project. This includes and limited to the delivery ticket, building placement and elevation, framing completion form, completed building inspection report form, forming contract form, completed concrete customer inspection report form. Failure to do so may result in your project being delayed until proper documentation has been executed. I don't see nothing wrong with this. Okay, page 17, foundation recommendation. I give you the industry standard of what's required, how you should do it, what you should do, and if you don't do it, you open yourself up to possible foundation failure. That's all this is. Okay? I'm trying to help you, as my customer, explain to you how important the foundation is, and I've talked about that many times on other videos about the concrete is not your foundation. The pad that's compacted is the foundation that the slab sits on. And so that's what this page is about. Plumbing and or electrical. You can't put any plumbing or electrical work till I finish getting this thing formed. And if the plumbers go in and mess up the grade, they're required to put it back. Because I've already done my part of the contract. Okay? And people understand that. And we get it that people put plumbing and they put different things, but not until I finish the grade, and then whatever they do, they got to put it back. And then we pour the concrete. So people do put plumbing. People do electrical. As long as you understand, whatever they mess up, they're going to put back the way it is, because I've already done it. Okay, page 19, concrete finishing. Okay, we're going to go through all the steps about that, okay? And basically, we use, it's got to be present. I want you present there when we pour concrete. We don't get a second chance on concrete, okay? So I require you to be there, okay? You need to pick the kind of surface you want, tell the finisher. Now understand, all this that's going on, we're monitoring it from our office on our Arlo camera system. We do all our inspections from here. I can walk on the other side and I can pull up any job right now and see where the construction project is. When a construction project's finished or concrete, we're gonna say, let's go inside, shut the doors, make sure they're open and shut, tight seals, everything's working. That's all being recorded, okay? And so this goes over that. It also tells you, once again, about trough charges, Georgia buggies, things of that nature. If I can't get to the building, and let's say I got a 60-foot building, and I can back to it. I got to get that concrete, and I've only got one door on the 60-foot side. I got to get that concrete 60 foot down there. So they take out a trough. I don't make any money on troughs. I don't make any money on pump trucks. I don't make any money on that stuff. Okay? It's a direct cost because of the location of your building, and I can't get to it properly. That's all that is. Okay? So we cover that again. And once again, everybody has to sign and date. There's a concrete release form. In the event the owner inspector cannot be present during the concrete finishing phase of the project and authorize Mallett in writing to proceed, the said owner inspector is hereby identified. In other words, if you don't want to be there and you just want me to do it, you can't come back and say, well, I don't like it. I've seen that happen in 22 years. That's why that's in here. Don't you realize the reason all this stuff is in here is because after 22 years, I'm covering every possible problem that can happen, and we're going to cover it up front, not in the back end of the deal. Okay. Payments. As per the contract, we have scheduled payments. You make your payments timely, that's good. If you don't make your payments timely, there's a penalty. Okay? And that's the way it should be. I'm committed to doing my job, but you got to be committed to living up to your side of the contract. When I finish the building, once the inspection's done, I want my check. When I finish the forming, I want my check. If you choose to, and it doesn't happen at all, but it has happened. I don't know why, but some people don't realize that, hey, you need to make your payments. All right, next page, page 22. Important owner inspection. This goes over that you are the inspector. You need to, we want you to inspect every phase of the building we do with you. And we want you to commit to doing it by signing this. And it's only right that you be there to make sure that you like, when the crew finishes the building, hey, my window's open good. Hey, the right colors. Hey, I like, everything's good. I'm satisfied. Great. So what you're doing, you're agreeing to do that. I've included on page 20 the owner inspection checklist. This is the things that I want you to look for. For instance, are your post depths 3 feet? Are post protectors installed? Is skirt board cover installed? Have 2x6 installed in a straight horizontal fashion? Are trusses satisfied? In other words, I want you to check me out. I want you to make sure this is all right. Completed building inspection report. Upon completion of the building, you will go along and you will sign. We all do it. We do it verbally too. But the builder will say, "Hey, got the right colors? Check. Building placement? Check. Building elevation? Check. Window placement? Check. Wings and gables? Check. Walk through? Check." We want you to make sure that everything's good before the builder leaves, and that's called a completed building inspection report, which I require on every building I build. And it also says that you're 100% satisfied with the finished product and the building has been constructed as per the building contract. Every contract I have has these papers in them. Now tell me, Miss Meir, what so far is not good for the customer? We're laying everything out. We're going to the next one. Example now, the form finish. Customer's name, dear customer, please introduce the desired type. You tell us what type of finish you want. Then there's a concrete pour notification checklist for all customers where basically, is your concrete finish correct and what you asked for? Was there any damage done while pouring the concrete? We're going through an array of things to make sure you're satisfied. 90% of what this is to make sure that we are living up to the standards that we told you we would do. And we're asking you multiple times to verify it. Okay, and there's another example. It's another form where basically your signature acknowledges that you have checked your building relative to whether you admit and accept concrete pour. You acknowledge it was poured correctly. Once again, I'm making sure that you're happy and satisfied. Completed concrete inspection report. Once again, here we go. The document provided the customer has agreed to work done by Mallett, has been completed, met all the criteria stated in the building and the terms and conditions that he's 100% satisfied. I got one of these in every contract too. Very important. Page 29. We will not order your building until we receive the design approval signed and your permit. What's wrong with that? I'm at a loss as to why someone would make that kind of comment. But that's why I'm doing this. Straighten it up. Let's get it all on the table. Important. Building and concrete inspection confirmation. Another document that you're just confirming everything as per. Door handling chart. This goes, okay, you circle which way you want your door to go. Split building condition. What this means is we're telling you is if you have no roll-up doors, we're going to have to leave part of the building open to pour the concrete in the building. And we're telling you so that you're not surprised. Mark all door window locations and dimensions, including any gable extensions lengths. That's all that is. Another example of this is the customer information sheet. Most of this stuff is documents to notify you what we're going to do and how we're doing. Here's form from contract to sign. We go through prior to delivery, step by step. Prior to delivery, this is what's going to occur. It's spelled out. From contract, this is after delivery. Here it is. Now, the only two pages that are missing is the actual contract checklist and the actual first page of the contract. The rest of it, folks, is information that you need and that I need to give you. Okay? This person making that comment is way out of line. I just went through the majority of this. There's only 2 pages, which would be the actual contract that you would sign and the actual checklist about the building. Then this is attached to everything. That's a little better than this 1-page stuff, isn't it? Take this to an attorney, my contract, and my competitor's contract, and say, what do you think? He said, you better do business with that guy with all those pages. He's telling you everything. He's trying to help you. He's trying to explain to you how this process works. This guy, you have no idea what he's up to or what he's going to do. Here, it's a well understood deal. Here, it's wide open. So, and on top of that, the other thing we do now, when we bid a building, I've absolutely made a specification sheet. So when I give a bid, my guys are required to give you the specification sheet on the 3 types of buildings we sell. Okay? And I give this to you so that if you want to get a bid, which is fine, make him initial that he's going to give you the same thing as me, apples to apples. Because I will beat him, I'm telling you, I will beat him by $1,000 every day, all day long. Most of the time, like I talked about yesterday, because they made some comment, yeah, we posted, yeah, he's at $34,999, we're at $32,999. But and this is a 30 by 50 by 14. This was my advertised price we even got before I even matched him when he ran the ad. I'm at $39.99 on the 30 by 50 by 12. On the 30 by 50 by 12. And this is 2 feet high. That's why it's a little bit more. So I beat their prices all day long. How can they compete with us? Well, one way is they don't have any equipment. They don't have any overhead. They don't have a staff. Most of them don't even answer the phone. Try calling them. When you call here, somebody's going to answer the phone. Okay? Look, bottom line is you can do business with somebody who's been in business 22 years, state licensed, got the best materials in the world,